9 episodes of Game of Thrones Season 3 end in weddings, promises, and fragile peace. The 10th episode exists to prove every single one of those things was a lie the whole time. Here's the claim, stated plainly. Season 3 isn't a season with a shocking twist at the end. It's a single, 10-episode argument. And the Red Wedding isn't the twist. It's the conclusion the entire season has been building toward from its very first scene, whether you noticed or not. If you're new here, this is Mereth Tales. We go beyond what happened and into why it worked. Subscribe now, because by the end of this video you'll understand exactly how a show convinces you to trust a piece that was doomed before it was ever offered. Let's start with the architecture, because this season is built with a precision that's easy to miss on a first watch. Watch what the show does with Robb Stark's marriage in the season's opening stretch. It's framed as a personal failing, a young king choosing love over strategy, breaking a pact for reasons the show makes you sympathize with completely. And because you sympathize, you stop watching it as a political liability. You watch it as a romance. That's the show's first move in this season's larger argument. Teach you to see a fatal mistake as a human one, so you stop bracing for its consequences. Now watch what happens to Walder Frey. He appears sparingly this season, mostly in brief, almost comic scenes. An old man grumbling about being disrespected, easy to dismiss as a minor inconvenience rather than a genuine threat. The show is doing the same thing here it did with Robb's marriage, just inverted. It's teaching you not to take him seriously, precisely so his eventual actions land as a total rupture of everything you'd been trained to expect from him. That's efficient storytelling at its most ruthless. Every scene is building two things simultaneously: the plot you can see and the emotional trap you can't. Here's where the season gets genuinely intelligent, because it runs the exact same play twice, in two completely different registers, and you fall for both. Look at Jaime and Brienne's journey this season. It's some of the best character work the show ever produced. Two people who begin as captor and prisoner, contempt curdling slowly into something like mutual respect, built scene by scene, mile by mile, across an actual physical journey the show takes real time to earn. Watch how patiently that shift is constructed. It isn't one conversation that changes everything. It's dozens of small moments. Jaime mocking Brienne's competence, then quietly noticing it. Brienne refusing to trust him, then reluctantly needing him. A hand cut off, a fever, a bath where two people finally say something true to each other for the first time in the entire season. By the time Jaime hears Brienne screaming in that bear pit, unarmed, thrown in for entertainment, the show has spent so many episodes building his reluctant loyalty to her that his decision to jump in after her, one-handed, against a bear, doesn't feel sudden at all. It feels inevitable, the way only patiently earned character change ever does. That's the show reminding you what earned transformation looks like, right before it shows you the opposite. Because look at Theon Greyjoy's storyline running in parallel, where Jaime and Brienne's relationship builds slowly toward trust. Theon's captivity builds slowly toward complete psychological destruction. Ramsay Bolton's torture rendered not as spectacle, but as a patient, methodical unmaking of a person's entire identity. Two storylines, same season, same careful construction, opposite destinations. One shows you what patience can build. The other shows you what patience can destroy. The show is teaching you, across these two threads, that time and care aren't inherently good things in this world. They're neutral tools. What matters is who's wielding them and toward what end. Now hold that lesson in mind, because it's about to become the entire point of the finale. Let's talk about the wedding itself, because the true genius of the Red Wedding isn't the violence. It's everything the show does in the 20 minutes before it. Watch the scene build, Music, toasts, the specific warmth of a room full of people who believe they're witnessing a peace finally being sealed. Catelyn Stark's guarded relief. Robb's genuine attempt at reconciliation. The show gives you every single marker of safety it spent 9 episodes teaching you to trust. Hospitality, ritual, the specific rules of guest right that this entire world treats as sacred. And then it plays the song. The Rains of Castamere isn't a random musical cue, and it isn't the first time this season has used it either, which is exactly what makes its return so devastating. Earlier in the season, the same melody appears in a quiet, almost throwaway moment. Hummed, played on an instrument, background texture, easy to miss entirely on a first watch. At the time, it registers as nothing more than a piece of in-world music, a song this world happens to know. It's Tywin Lannister's house anthem, a song specifically about the annihilation of a family that once defied House Lannister. And the show has been quietly planting that melody in your ear, unremarked upon, so that when it returns here, in this hall, at this exact moment, some part of you recognizes it before your conscious mind does. That's not a lucky coincidence of scoring. That's the same architecture the show has been using all season, just moved into music instead of dialogue. Plant something early, let it feel meaningless, and let its return do the damage precisely because you'd stopped watching for it. That's the entire season's architecture, revealed all at once. Every piece of trust the show spent 9 episodes constructing. Robb's sympathetic marriage, Frey's dismissible pettiness, the sacred weight of guest right, even a song you'd half forgotten, collapses into a single devastating instant, precisely because you'd been taught to trust every single element that gets weaponized against you. Here's what makes this different from shock for its own sake. The thing later seasons would eventually forget how to do. Nothing about the Red Wedding is actually a twist in the conventional sense. Every piece of information required to see it coming was given to you, honestly, across the entire season. Robb's broken promise, Frey's public humiliation, the specific, sacred importance this world places on hospitality being violated. The show never lied to you. It simply trusted that you'd extend the same faith its characters extended, and be punished the same way they were, for exactly the same reasons. That's the difference between manipulation and construction. A show that manipulates you hides information until the reveal. A show that constructs meaning gives you everything you need and trusts your own optimism to do the rest of the work. Watch what happens to every character who survives that room, because the season isn't finished once the violence ends. Arya, arriving close enough to hear what's happening but too late to stop it, gets an ending that denies her even the mercy of witnessing it directly. Grief without the closure of confrontation. Catelyn's final act, and her final expression, closes out one of the show's most patient character arcs with a wordless, total devastation that earns every ounce of its weight precisely because you've spent 3 seasons understanding exactly what this woman had already survived to get here. The season doesn't end with the wedding. It ends with the show forcing you to sit in the aftermath, refusing to let the shock become the whole story, insisting instead that you understand exactly what was lost, and why, and how patiently it had actually been built toward the entire time. Here's the honest verdict on Season 3, and it's the clearest possible demonstration of everything this show was capable of at its absolute peak. Every storyline this season, Jaime and Brienne, Theon and Ramsay, Robb and the Freys, is doing the same underlying work from a different angle, teaching you what patient construction looks like, so you'll trust it completely, right before the season's single most devastating scene weaponizes that exact trust against you. That's not a twist ending bolted onto a good season. That's a season built, from its very first scene, as a 10-hour argument for why trust in this world is never as safe as it feels. Season 4 takes that lesson and pushes it even further. The last season where every scene still carried that same triple weight. That's already up, if you haven't seen it yet. If this changed how you think about Season 3, subscribe now, because we're building this entire series one season at a time, and the through line only gets clearer from here.